Welcome back to Adventure in Art. My name is Ben Staley, your resident talking head. This is the fourth kind of video in my series about portraiture, and we're going to talk about lenses. What is my favorite portrait lens? I'm going to show you some portraits that I've shot with a variety of different lenses, and then we'll get to which one is my favorite. Before we get going, I tend to be long-winded. I'm starting a timer. I forgot to do this on the last video. I'm trying to keep these under 8 minutes. Maybe that's possible, maybe it's not. So we're going to do a 7-minute timer. When this goes off, I'm going to wrap it up. Favorite portrait lens. Let me see. Let me find some photos on my phone here. Yes, just what everybody wants. A video where I look at my phone. I have shot with a variety of cameras over the years, a lot, and a variety of lenses. I definitely have my sweet spot in what I like the most, though. But let's just get into this. Let's just get into this. I used to, for a number of years, I had some Micro Four Thirds cameras, GH2, 3, 4. I actually this isn't mine, by the way. This was just sent by Panasonic, and I'm going to be taking this to Africa. But this is I'm trying to get it in focus. Come on now, get in focus. There we go. Yeah. That's a GH6, which that just showed up a couple days ago. I actually did use it on those two actresses that I referenced in one of the other videos. First or second one that I did. Anyways, GH6, kind of cool actually. The last GH I had was a GH4 years ago. And this has a Leica Panasonic 42.5 1.2. That's a pretty dope portrait lens. I mean, I think that's one of the best ones you can get for these Micro Four Thirds little cameras. So I used that on those actresses the other day, and I'm taking that to Africa. I don't know what I'm going to get with it. I'm going to try it out for a little while, but should be fun. Let's talk about tangents. Let's talk about some portraits. Check this dude out. I really like this guy. I was doing a job in Tennessee, and he was one of the people that I was filming, and he didn't have any teeth, so he could do this. That is with a GH camera, I think probably a GH3 or a GH4. And that is an Olympus 45 millimeter 1.8. So Micro Four Thirds it's a half crop. So that's basically if it was a full frame, it'd be like a 90 millimeter lens. And with the depth of field of like 3.6, something like that. So not even that shallow or fast, but a really great portrait lens. I had that lens a lot. I used it for a lot of portraits. Here is a picture of Jake Anderson from Deadliest Catch. I photographed him at sea. This also with a GH3, I think. That same lens, 45 1.8, again, 90 millimeter equivalent. Jake used this in his book. He put a book out, and this photo was actually projected on a video screen in Times Square, which is kind of cool. There's an actress, Asia, same lens, 45 millimeter 1.8. I was using that a lot for portraits. Here is same lens, 45 1.8. I really like this photo a lot. Look at those eyes. This guy was photographed also with, I think, a GH4. This is an Olympus zoom lens, a 12 to 40, which would be like a 24 to 80, 2.8. This is probably in the mid-range. It's probably not zoomed in all the way, but I don't know. I don't have the information. I don't know what size it was, but it's a zoom lens. This is a gentleman in Siberia. When I went to Siberia, I had a DSLR, DSLR. I had a Canon DSLR, like a 7D, and a 24 to 105 f4. lens. Then it was mostly for video, but I was taking a lot of portraits with it. This is probably at the long end, probably at the 105. I think the 7D is an APS-C camera, so it's probably like a 135 equivalent, or I don't know, do the math, something like that. It's a zoom lens, f4, zoomed in all the way. A lot of great faces in Siberia. This dude is another guy from a job. This time I'm shooting with a Canon 5D, a full frame Canon DSLR that I had. I used to get these in my kits a lot when I would go and do these video filmmaking jobs. This was, I think, a Discovery Channel job that I went to do. And I filmed this guy he works on boats. But same lens, 24 to 105 f4. Look, you zoom in all the way. The background goes soft, full frame. What a face. What an amazing face. I love this portrait. Then I moved on. I got a Nikon full frame DSLR. This is with a Sigma 50mm 1.4, which is a lens that I truly love. 50mm Sigma Art. 50mm Sigma Art. Make good choices, folks. This is Brandon. Here's a dude from a job. This is another guy that works on boats. Again, Nikon DSLR, 50mm. No. This is not a 50mm. I'm sorry. This is a Nikon 70 to 200. Zoomed in partway. I don't know the exact focal length. This is my good buddy Charlie. Also Nikon DSLR, 70 to 200. This is a model friend of mine, Skylar. Nikon DSLR, 70 to 200. This is a Anna, a model, 70 to 200. This is a film portrait of my friend Reagan Miller, who's a dancer and an actress and a model. I photographed her a ton. You may have seen her on the channel. This is shot on film with a Nikon f4 and a 105mm 2.5, I think it's 2.5, f2.5 lens. 105mm, just an amazing portrait lens. Here's another photo of Reagan with my Leica M6. Oh, dude, I'm just getting started and the timer's going off. That's okay. This is going to be a little longer. Okay, I gotta speed this up. Here's another picture of Reagan with my Leica M6 and a 50mm Summicron. Here is a picture of my friend, actress, and model Jenna West. This is with my Leica Q2. That is a 28mm. You guys are familiar with the Q2 if you watch a lot of my channel. Here is a jiu-jitsu master with the Leica Q2. That's a pretty cool portrait. Oh, moving right along. Oh, I'm so behind now. Here's another Q2. This is a warrior dude with the Leica Q2, 28mm. Here is Seal, photographed with a Leica SL2 and a 90mm Summicron. Here is a model actually photographed at the Leica store with an SL2 and a 90mm Summicron. Here is my friend VJ. He's an actor and a model. This is with a Leica M11 camera and a 50mm Summicron lens, like an Apo, like a really expensive Summicron lens. Here is Stephanie, who is a model and an actress, photographed with the Leica M11 and a Voigtlander 75mm 1.5, an incredible portrait lens. Here's another shot of Trinity, shot with that 75mm 1.5. Love that lens. Here's my friend Devora, photographed with the Leica M11 and a Voigtlander 35mm 1.2. Another incredible lens. A lot of lenses here, folks. Oh, we're bouncing around. What do we got? Okay, oh, here's another Q2 shot, 28mm. Here is Seal, again photographed with his personal M11 and a 50 millimeter Summicron. Here is Reagan Miller, photographed with a Sony camera and a Sigma 85mm 1.4. And here's Devora with that Sigma 85mm 1.4. Here's another model, Sigma 85mm 1.4. I really love the way she's looking over her shoulder here. This is Ron, a cowboy in remote Idaho and a friend, and this is one of my favorite portraits of all time. This is Ron photographed on the Sigma 85mm 1.4. There's a whole bunch of portraits, a whole bunch of lenses. Which one is my favorite? I love those Sigma art lenses so much. I love the Leica primes. There's like, lenses are so cool. We just love lenses as photographers. What's my favorite focal length for portraits? I like a long portrait. I like a long lens portrait, if you hadn't noticed with those photos. Those Sigma art lenses, if I'm working with an autofocus system, say not a Leica M system or just manual lenses, I love those Sigma art lenses. I think for the money, they're the best lenses out there. And I would use the Sigma art lenses over most of the dedicated, like the Canon lenses or the Nikon lenses. Or if I had one of those systems, I would just shoot the Sigma art lenses anyways. I love them. And that 85mm 1.4, that's a focal length that I really like to live in, that 85mm. I like the 75mm Voigtlander's right in there. The 85 is like the sweet spot for me. It's not super long where you got to stand a long ways away. You can still get kind of close. But if it's fast, that 1.4, the fall off you get, to me, that's, if I had to pick one portrait lens, that's what I would get. Now, I love a 50mm. I think those are great if you want a little more environment, if you want to be even closer. But if I had to choose one, I'd choose that 85, the 85mm 1.4. Thanks for watching my goofy little series about portraits and tips and things like that. If there's anything else that you'd like to know about, if there's anything I can expand on, if there's anything I didn't cover, leave me a comment. Let me know. I'll be doing more of this. Get out there and make some art, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Take care.